Yum.
Hi, everybody. Hope that you are having a wonderful day. My name is Melody Johnson, and I'm the host here at Sizzle Serve Yum, where I'm transitioning from the ketogenic diet all the way to full-time carnivore. So, been carnivore for about, I think, 62 days, and it's been really nice. All right, let me go ahead and go into the chat. Hey, Joanna, how are you? Hope that you are doing well today. See, I got my gloves on because we're about to cut up some meat. I've got two kinds of meat here. I actually have this one, which is Heart Brand. It's made with Wagyu ground beef. I thought this would be pretty good. I've had Kobe beef earlier, I think it was last week, and oh my gosh, I'm like obsessed with it. But it's very hard to find because a lot of people keep buying it. And it does have a distinct, really tender, delicious, juicy taste to it. Let's see. Joanna says, wearing gloves, I'm scared. You don't have to be scared. It's going to be fine. I promise you. So, so I was going to use this Wagyu beef, and then I found an amazing deal on some beef burgers that you're not going to believe. I had 10 of these burgers, which it's in some plastic right now, but I had 10 of these and I found them for $5.80. I still cannot believe I got it for that low. I actually went to the supermarket, and in the supermarket, they have like a reduced price section, and that is where I found these burgers. So I snatched it up. There was another lady right behind me, and I think she was going to take them, but I took both packages. So anyway, so we're going to be cooking up some burgers. I'm going to make some for myself and for Alyssa. Keep thinking you're saying ragu. It's Wagyu. Yeah, I might not be saying the W too hard. I probably should. But yeah, I went ahead and I got both of these packs. So you're going to see regular burgers being cooked, and then you're going to see the Wagyu being cooked as well. So that's going to be interesting. And I'm kind of excited about that. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and add my my camera here. Hold on one second. Hey, Evans, I just seen you pop up on the screen. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Long time no see. All right. So I got my my trusty pan here, as you can see, and I'm going to be doing like kind of like a side by side. So you guys just be mindful that I'm not going to be able to type. I'm going to be more hands-on cooking during that time. Evan says, hi, Melody. Everyone's saying hi. I love how everybody's doing great. I was telling Joanna that I'm making this Wagyu beef. So I'm using this one, but then I also found this 10 patty pack for $5.80, which is real 100% beef. So we're going to do a little comparison. I've never had Wagyu before. I just had Kobe beef for the first time, and I'm loving it, but I'm having a hard time finding it. So before I even turn this on, right, got to put that back here. Make sure I touch that. Make sure it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start opening up this beef right now to go ahead and season it. Now, I told you guys when I'm making this, I am simply using what I have on hand. Now, from this one pack, you can make about 4 patties, okay? I happen to get this for a very good deal. I got this for, I think this one was $8. Yeah, this one was $8. So this is the Wagyu beef. Something that I noticed, it has a lot more marbleized like fat. If you look on the outside, that has a little bit more fat. So I'm a little interested in how this one is gonna taste. Hold on, I should have got a bag for myself to put this. Okay, we'll just work with what we got, right? All right, and the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season it up. I have a little bit of salt that I'm gonna be putting on here, and I use, just so you know, Redmond salt. I use this salt for lots of different things. You'd be surprised. You can actually use this if you're a little dehydrated, put a little under your tongue and you're good. But it also has a very nice, distinct taste. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have the shaker, so I just opened it up, and that's going to be enough salt for me. And I'm just not going to handle it too much. I'm just going to take one, form it as the patty, and then that's my patty right there. One thing I learned about any kind of like ground beef or anything is that you should not handle the beef too much, because then the fat begins to render in your hands, and you don't want that. You want it to render in the pan. So let's see. I'll be getting to the chat in a second, guys. Just be patient with me. I got a little clump there, but it's all right. And you're probably like, oh my God, Mel, how much salt you putting on this thing? Remember, when you're on a carnivore diet, you don't need a whole lot of seasoning. And I've actually gotten used to eating without, my meat without like heavy duty seasoning. I used to use a lot of garlic and pepper, but now I just use salt, and I'm okay with that. And I've adapted quite well to that. All right, let's see. Evan says, yeah, long time no see. And then Evan also says, awesome deal for $5. Yeah, for $5, 10 burgers. That lasts me, 10 burgers will last me 2 to 3 days. And that's with Alyssa eating some of that meat as well. But if it's just me, that's the whole week. That's the whole week. And that was a really good price. I was actually really happy about that. All right. I know that's like a mini patty, but it's whatever. We've got some more patties that we got. We've also got Foggle. How are you doing? I like a lot of salt on burgers. Me too. So what I found is when I am making these burgers, I'll season it with the salt, but then on the outside, I want to sprinkle just a little bit more salt as well. But I thought it was just me, Foggle. I thought it was just me. Glad to know I'm not alone. All right. So we've got our Wagyu burgers going on over here. And now I've got my regular patties, which we need to also season as well. And that one, I'm just going to cut the top right here like this, because it's just going to be too much with me trying to open it up the regular way. I got more saran wrap. It's okay. So I've got my regular patties. This is how I bought them. And they were stacked, and it was 10. And there's only 5 now, so I'm going to use these that I have. Let's see. Evan says, I can't live without my garlic powder and salt and pepper. Same thing. I used to be the same exact way. And then what I found was some of those seasonings just didn't sit well with me anymore. So I just couldn't mess with it. But now it's like I'm fine with just having salt, and it tastes fine to me. Like, I like it. I like also, and Foggle, you tell me if this is something you like. What I like to do is when I have like a burger, like even in the pan, like after I've seasoned it with the salt, I like to put a little bit more salt on the top. That's what I like to do. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of seasoning on one side. And then once I put it in the pan, I'll season the other side just so you guys see. Hey, look who it is. We've got Alan in the house. Join us as Miss Dash. Yeah, I used to use lots of Miss Dash. Alan says, do you know what you call a wild cat that only eats pigs? A sausage lynx. I can always rely on you for a good meat joke. Hope you're doing well today. All right, so we got our patties. We got our Wagyu beef burgers. I'm just going to place that on the side. And now what I'm going to do is, since this is a hot plate and we definitely want to make sure we're staying safe, I'm going to just turn this on. And this is going to get very hot. This plate is going to get very hot. Now, I got this plate from like Amazon. I think it was like $18, $19. But this thing is heating up already. You can see how red the eye is getting. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get my frying pan. We're going to put the Wagyu burger in there first. And I'm just going to flatten it out just a little bit more. And then I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do, Fogel. I'm going to put a little bit more salt on the top. And then I'm going to do it again. And we're going to start hearing it sizzle in a moment. And I'm just going to make sure that I space out the burgers enough so that way it has not a lot of air that's aerating around it. So that way it can cook evenly. All right, let's see. Doing good. I'm about to head for supper, but I had to stop by. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you. Oh, Alan is awesome. Y'all make sure you subscribe to him. He has like the best jokes. All right, so now that we're waiting for this to cook, it's going to start sizzling up. We can start talking about some of the difficulties that people might have also with beginning the carnivore diet. So far, I've been on a carnivore diet for about 61 days. Saying it feels surreal. It feels weird to say it because I can't remember the last time I've been on a diet for this long and really enjoy it. Yeah, and really enjoy it. Let's see. Alan says he has only over 400 videos recorded now. That's actually pretty awesome, Alan. I'm so glad. If you ever need a good laugh, you can always go over to his channel. It's awesome. Let's see. All right. So I could feel the heat radiating now from the pan, right? And it's going to, yeah, I could feel it radiating from the pan right now. You're going to start hearing a little sizzle. We're going to sizzle, serve it, and yum it, right? And then I'll be putting this on a plate. Something that I've noticed, and you guys tell me in the chat, if you cook burgers, do you like yours medium well or well done? Or do you like it a little pink in the middle? That'd be medium well. You guys let me know in the chat. But I do like having mine with a little bit of a pink center. I've noticed that since I've been on carnivore, I've also liked a little bit of like, not raw, but I kind of like it a little bit rare. I think it has a really good taste. So it's starting to sizzle. It's starting to sizzle up. Fogel says pink in the middle. Evan says well done. Okay. Joanna says medium. Okay. I don't know if Alan's still there, but Alan, if you're there, you can let me know. You can see this one is starting to sizzle up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip our burgers soon. But I have to be careful because sometimes, stuff is popping and I don't want to get hurt and I'm real close. I would have normally did this in the kitchen, but I just felt like the setup is just so good here. I can pretty much do anything here. All right, so we've got our Wagyu burgers. Now, with Wagyu, have you guys ever had Wagyu burgers? Ellen says pink in the middle. Okay. Yeah, let me know if you've ever tried a Wagyu burger. So this Wagyu burger that I got was on sale. I got it for $10. And I felt like $10 was good compared to what I've normally seen it for, which is twice the price. I've usually seen it for $20 for a small pack. But for some reason, Publix had it on sale for $9, and I scooped up the Kobe and I scooped up the Wagyu that you see here. And now I can't find the Kobe anymore. If you go on Instacart, you might be able to order it, but that's about it. All right. I'm going to take these gloves off so that way I can flip these burgers. I've also got some American cheese here because I know my daughter likes cheese, so I'm going to put a little bit on her burger. All right. Alan says he's got to go. Much love to everyone. I'll see you later, Alan. All right. So we've got our pan here. Usually what I like to do is even when it's just still slightly cooked, I still like to just place it and flip it. That's just me though. Once it gets brown on one side, I like to flip it. Sometimes I wait, but I've been finding that I like for the juices, once it starts rendering out of the burger, I like to flip it. So it's like almost like getting that juice back in, but remember what we talked about with Wagyu. We want that fat to render out. Oh my gosh, the smell is just so good. So now at this point, I'm gonna just put a little bit of salt, just a little, guys. And that's the cool thing about it. Like when you're on when you're on the carnivore diet, like you actually don't have to worry about all of the salt. Like it's never a low sodium diet. Never low sodium. All right, so we got burgers here. We're just waiting for them to cook. All right, in the meantime, you can tell me what are some of the struggles that you have when you've been on a carnivore diet. And I'll tell you one. It was adapting to just eating meat. Just eating meat was a hard thing in the beginning. I felt that because I was starting carnivore, I just did the one thing I always recommend people to do. Taper off, man. Taper off. Don't go full-fledged like I did. That was just too crazy. That's you guys don't understand. I quit coffee and sugar at the same time. That's insane. Like, I don't know who does that, but I did. Fogel Stuff 87 says, all right, I buy the frozen black Angus burgers at Aldi's. You know what? Somebody told me to go there. Okay. I get kind of grossed out touching raw ground beef and chicken. Hence, that's why I use the gloves. But I can understand. Yes. That is one of the reasons why I started using gloves, because I started realizing that my hands was starting to get like real greasy, and then it would be really hard for me to wash my hands. I wash my hands a ton of times with soap, but then I also started keeping lemon juice near my sink, which if y'all know me long enough, I've been using lemon juice always to clean, especially with oily pans like this. I'll be doing the same thing. All right. Oh my gosh. You see all that juice from the burgers? That is looking so good right now. I'm going to be flipping it soon, but not just yet. I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer on this side, and then I'm going to flip it again. And then we're going to see all of the goodness. And yes, it's going to be pink in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the regular burgers in, and we're going to do like a little bit of a taste test to see, is this... Is it all it's hyped up to be? Like, is it good, or is it like I could just go back to eating my $5.80 burgers? Yes, I got 10 of these for $5.80. I feel good because I got 2 packs of them, so I felt like I got a BOGO. But if you shop at Publix, that's how it is. Okay, so here's the thing. Oops. Here's the thing, when you use these kind of burgers, I started thinking what would be like fun toppings other than just like cheese we could use this for. And I started thinking maybe I could put maybe a little bit of sour cream on it. I've never tried that before. I've heard a lot of carnivores use sour cream as a topping. Also heard people using, of course, cheese as a topping. But does it matter what kind of cheese? Like, I like being able to use a regular American cheese is what I like to use. Yeah, I like to use regular American cheese. All right, let's see. All right, Fogel says, Joanna says, but you didn't go to jail. No, I didn't. All right, Fogel stuff. I had a burger with Gouda. Gouda cheese. That sounds interesting. I wonder how that tasted. Gouda cheese. A few hot dogs and bacon. My husband grilled it all, and we have leftovers. Oh, there's nothing like a grilled hot dog, man. Like, having it to me off the grill is just so good. And I love the burnt ones. Like, give me the burnt one. Give me the burnt hot dog. They call it a beach dog is what it's called. I love the burnt ends. I like, also, if I eat ribs, I like the burnt ends. But today when I went to the supermarket, I thought I found the best deal, y'all. I can't get up and go to the kitchen right now, but I went to Publix, and sometimes Publix has BOGOs, right? And I found buy one, get one free for pork ribs, and they were about this long and about this thick. I couldn't believe it. And so I scooped one up. Yeah, it was like $20 for one, but I thought of it as I paid $10 each for the ribs. And those are just so great. And though the burnt ends are the best. All right, let's see. Gouda on a burger is awesome. I've got to try that. I've got to try that. Foggle, you now got me thinking I got to buy some Gouda. I've got to buy some Gouda. All right, let's see how these burgers are doing so far. Looks like it's still got to cook. I still see some rawness, but it might be because also how thick it is on the other side. So this one and this one is kind of raw. I feel like these could cook like, I'm probably going to cook it for like maybe 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to flip it again. Yeah, I think 3 more minutes and that it should be fine by then. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for these burgers to cook, let's think of like some really good cuts of meat like we could fry up right here. Aldi has Gouda slices. Okay. You know what I did? I went to Publix and I got American cheese, like white American cheese. And I was like, I could split it in half and put it like on one burger. But I want to try this Gouda. What kind of, is it like more of a sharp tasting cheese? I'm wondering. Yeah, I wonder if Gouda is like a sharp tasting cheese. That sounds delicious, actually. Joanna, what's for dinner? Of course, I'm going to ask Joanna what's for dinner. Let's see. All right, we've got a little bit of let's see. It's starting to cook. I don't have a top for it. Sometimes I put a top on it if I think like it's going to splash up, and it concerns me a little bit. But we're almost done. This burger is almost done. Once I don't see any pink on the sides, then I say it's done. Yeah. So, all right. So we've got these burgers here. Now, sometimes what I do, if I have like extra burgers, I actually like making extra burgers because that will sometimes be my go-to real quick meal. And the quick meal will be maybe I'm in the middle of about to go to a meeting, right? And I want something, I'll eat the burger cold straight out the fridge because to me, it just tastes so good like that. Okay, Fogel says, it's not sharp. It just has a very unique flavor. I feel like I need to taste it. I need to try this out. Yeah, it sounds delicious though. All right, so we're gonna try out the Gouda. Okay, I feel like it would almost be like, is it creamy? Like, does it have a creamy texture to it? I may be thinking about brie cheese though. I may be thinking about that. All right, I feel like these burgers are cooking well. And all of that fat that's rendered on the side, sometimes I like to keep that and then I cook it again with a different meat to give it a nice little taste. Look who's in his house. We've got Rome. What's going on, Rome? Hope you're doing good. Over here making some Wagyu burgers. Yes, I'm making Wagyu burgers. So far, it's doing really good. I am making sure that I'm careful so that I don't pop myself. But I've got my plate here. That's going to be for the Wagyu. And then we're going to go ahead and put some beef burgers in there, some regular beef burgers. And we're going to do a comparison to see if this is what I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull these out. Let's see. Is this one ready? I don't know if that big one is ready just yet. No, I don't think it is. Because I'm looking from the side and it's not. It's still a little, yeah, it's not like pink Fogel like how we like. Yeah, we need to let that one sit for a bit. I don't have a top for this pan, so we just got to kind of work with what we got. Let's see. All right. Joanna says, wait, you can have cheese. You can have small amounts of cheese as a topping. So since I had cheese for the first time this month, I will only have it one more time this month, and that's it, because I know that I will gain weight. Do you want some burgers? So it's like, what are you doing at your desk? Of course, you can have cheese. Yes, we've got Romeo in the house, and yes, Rome knows tech. He knows how to not only use tech, but he's great when it comes to the laser machines. He just makes some amazing art. Yeah. All right. So we are letting these burgers cook for a bit because we need to be able to eat them, right? All right. In the meantime, so we were talking about some struggles like with the carnivore diet that some people have like as a beginner, and I was sharing how I would have hard time with cutting back. It was the not tapering off. I was just jumping right in. So feel free to share one thing that you also struggled with also on the carnivore diet. While we're waiting for these Wagyu burgers to cook, I'm so hungry, and the smell is just amazing, I tell you. All right, so one thing I do want to make for you guys one time. Hey, listen, you don't have to leave. If you want to stay out here, you can. Once I'm done with the burgers, you can have one. Okay? My daughter's like, is it gonna be ready soon? I know. Look, we only had breakfast. We fasted lunch. Yeah, we fasted. We fasted through lunch. I just had a lot going on and I wasn't hungry. But now I'm like really hungry. All right. Love how Rome and everybody is saying hi. And if you're here, feel free to click in the chat and say hi to us. Of course, we always like to check you guys out and make sure that you feel warm and welcome here. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button for cool live streams. And also, I do quite a few videos in my car. All right, let's see. We're going to go ahead. I'm flipping this over one more time. And I think this is going to be it. Like, this is going to be the last of the flipping for now. I think after this is it. Like, we can go ahead. I'll dump the oil out, and then we're going to start with this pan fresh again, and it's going to be done. So what I do is when I use cheese as a topping, I split it in half. And it's not just because I'm stretching the cheese, guys, I promise you. I'm not being super cheap, but I'm really trying to be mindful about how much cheese, because cheese does have lactose in it. And lactose does have what? It has sugar, right? So you got to really be mindful about that. Let's see. We've got Fogle says, I still struggle with emotional eating when I'm stressed. Okay. But I find I make better decisions since I'm off the sugar and carbs. You know what? I was the same exact way. And that's how I knew, like, I was really having a problem. I would go and scarf down a ton of cookies, or I would scarf down, like, a ton of donuts. It's things that just I knew I should not be eating, but at the moment it made me feel good. And I had to relearn, like, a relationship with food. So when I would get upset, what I started doing was I go on walks, and I would be still going through the cravings, and I was upset because I wanted the donuts, I wanted the cookies, I wanted the cake. And I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I can figure this out. I can solve this without, food. And so it just started like one at a time. Like, I just stopped going in the kitchen directly to get what I needed. And I would just go straight out the door. And I would just walk. Yeah. Until I felt like the feeling went away, and then I'd come back home. And so that's how I dealt with it. But yeah, being off the carbs, like that makes your whole body feel good. You have clarity in how you're thinking. And then being off the carbs, you don't feel like you have to be reliant on it, which is nice. All right, Joanna says, my problem is I have to be careful with salt and sodium I have spinal fluids that can get too high and can cause blindness. Oh gosh. Yeah, I would say if you need to follow your doctor's instructions for that, go ahead and do that, Joanna. For me, I already went to the doctor. I'm okay with having my sodium, and that's kind of like how we do, and that's how you do it on a carnivore diet. Like you don't, like you just eat as much as you need to eat, right? Till you feel good. And it's the same thing with salt. Like my salt intake is fine. All right, this is it. We've got our Wagyu. Got our Wagyu. Cheese is melted. And now we're going to take this out of the pan. And we're going to go with the regular beef burgers. And we're going to see what's the difference between them.
What tastes different?
Yeah, we're going to see which tastes different. So we've got that. That one's a heavy burger. Oh, goodness. Why I feel like that's the burger you're going to grab for. I'm having a hard time taking this out the pan. I have the spatula in this, like the corner of it is like it's slightly melted, and so it makes it harder to pick up. But we're gonna go ahead. We're taking our burgers out of the pan now, and then what I'm going to do is I've got to do me a favor, Alyssa. Go get me, the metal bowl.
Yeah.
All right, pass me the metal bowl. All right, so I've got to dump out the stuff that's in this pan. And I still have the eye on, so I've got to be really careful. It's hot. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, Joanna. I mean, that if that's what your doctor says, then that's what you gotta do. It is good. It is. All right, so I'm dumping out. I got a metal bowl, and I'm just gonna dump out this oil here because I don't want it to I don't want this to pour out of something else. Let's get me a paper. Oh no, never mind. I got a paper towel right here. I'm gonna take a paper towel, and now that I did the Wagyu, I'm going to just take a paper towel real quick and just clean it up. So that way the fat from that can also render. All right, Lissa, I got my daughter doing all these jobs. Here, this is going to be something I'm going to need you to throw away for me. That's the one thing I forgot is a garbage can. But when you do this enough, you learn. You live and learn. All right, let's see. Joanna says, I didn't think about cheese. That's how I became able to eat meat again when I was younger. Yeah, cheese is... if you eat it sparingly, you're good. It's when you eat huge amounts of it where it's a problem. Hold on, I need my gloves. I can't. It's. I told you guys I can't. I don't like having to wash my hands like after I touch the meat. It's just, yeah, it's that. But Fogel understands. She understands. I hope y'all understand too. All right, so we got another fresh pair of gloves. And we're gonna go ahead and put these beef burgers in. But yeah, you can use cheese. You just got to use it sparingly. Okay. So this is the regular burgers I was telling you about. I'm gonna go ahead. It's gonna start real quick. And
it's like you're grilling.
Yeah, almost like I'm grilling. I would love to be able to do that outside, but I have a tiny grill. I would have to figure out how we're doing the live stream if I'm doing it this way. All right, so we've got that. I don't think I can fit all 5 of these, Lissa. It may end up just being 4 patties, and maybe we'll just, let's see. Because I don't want to crowd the pan. Yeah, we're just going to do it this way. So I have 1 extra burger, but that's fine. Now, since I seasoned one side with salt, we got to do it the other way, right? And I like the saltiness. It tastes so good. Oh my gosh. I still have the cheese. I'm only going to do 2 burgers for that. All right. I wasn't veggie or anything. I just had an extreme yucky towards meat. I would have to hide it or disguise it to eat. Okay. Yeah, some people have like that thing where they just cannot touch it, and I get it. Like,
It feels weird.
yeah, I used to be the same way when I was a kid. But now I love meat. I just don't like touching the ground beef with my hands sometimes. Trust me, after reading my text, I ain't touching without gloves.
Even touching the bacon.
I understand. But you know what? I got to tell you, I've really been happy about being able to eat this way. Like, I feel that, again, I can think clearly. I don't have that fog. And I feel like I used to have anxieties and insecurities about a lot of stuff. But now I feel like since I've been on carnivore, I don't have that anymore. In fact, I feel real energetic and I don't care about those things anymore. Like, it's kind of like a cloud was lifted over my head, and like I can finally process things a lot faster. I can work a lot faster. I'm more productive. So yeah, I love being able to be on carnivore. But that thing you got to taper off on. You have to do that. Oh, I like that. I just don't want to go for regular spinal taps. I got you. I understand. So what we're doing now is this is the regular beef burgers. If you're just now tuning in, you're like, what is this girl doing? I'm making beef burgers right now. This is regular beef burgers. The other burgers that I made right here, these are the Wagyu burgers. And I wanted to do a taste test and see if there was a difference. I wanted to see if, does it taste as juicy as my regular burgers? Is it worth the price? I mean, I paid $10 for 4 patties, but my other burgers, remember, I paid $5.80 for 10 patties, and that was on sale. So we're gonna see which one is better. All right. Joanna says, I felt that way now that I lost a little. Yeah. You're gonna feel a lot more confident, and that's why I love carnivore. And it simplifies the whole cooking process. It simplifies, what do I make to eat? I used to get so into my head about, do I need to cook vegetables? I need to make sure I have a meat. I need to make sure I have a grain. I don't have to make sure I have a grain or a vegetable. I just need meat. That's all that's necessary. So I'm very happy about that. And I've also seen that I'm not spending a whole lot of money on junk, which is what I used to do. I used to have, let's see, I want to say, I think on average, it was about $45 a week on junk a week, That's over $160 a month. I'm like, I could have been using that on grade quality meat. So yeah, so still staying healthy, still being able to cook while I'm doing this. And I feel really great. And if you haven't tried the carnivore diet, you should consider it. You really should. Hey, look who we got. Let's see. I'm happier, and I'm sure it's the appearance thing because I've not given up coffee. Hey, if coffee works for you, keep up at it, Joanna. I had to give up coffee though. I had to give it up because I was just having too many issues with it being acidic. Oh, it's Margaret. Say hi to Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Lissa's here. She's on the other side. She's waiting for her burgers to cook. Yeah, so Margaret's here. She's greeting everybody, and she says, I just got home. You made it just in time.
Drinking the coffee, actually.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee anymore because I realized that it was giving me like acid reflux, and it wasn't doing good for me. Margaret says, hi, Alyssa. So what you're seeing now, we're just making regular beef burgers. And this is interesting. If you notice, and I'm going to just zoom in a little bit, you might notice that there is a lot more fat being rendered out. Now, this did have 20% fat. I didn't look at the fat percentage on the Wagyu, and I wish I did. But that kind of juice I like to keep on hand, like I said before. So if I'm making something else, it gives it sometimes a nice little different taste. And that's what also prevents me from getting bored, because I'm experimenting with all of these different ways of preparing meat. But honestly, what I really like is a nice char on the outside. Oh my gosh, of a burger or like ribs. It's just the char part is just so, oh my gosh, it is so good. You know, I like the burnt parts. Like I told, give me the burnt parts. I love it. I love it. Join us is Margaret, and hi, Alyssa.
Hi.
That's Joanna. So, all right. So now you see our burgers are cooking. We've got that going, but we are moving on to the next part, which is we're going to be flipping them in a minute. But I wanted to fully cook on this side, only because I felt that because if I flip it now, I'm just going to end up keep flipping it, and I don't want to do that because I'm very close to the pan. Margaret says yummy. Yes, Margaret, it is yummy and it's going to be delicious. I can't wait to do this taste test. I'm so hungry too. So, all right, we're going to be flipping these burgers. But in the meantime, you guys tell me if you have questions about carnivore diet. This is what I've been doing. I told you over 60 days. I started at 290 pounds, 290 point, I believe 8. And now I'm down to 262. And I'm very grateful. I feel like I can move around a lot more too. Let's see. Let me scroll down more, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. So, all right. So I think we are getting to where now we can flip these. Now, one thing I love about burgers, and when I'm about to flip them, I love that little I get satisfaction from that. It's like an ASMR kind of
I
thing.
like that.
You like it too?
I like the sound. That's why I said sizzle.
Sizzle, sizzle. That's what my daughter used to do. I used to have a stove for her, and I would hear her. One time I was like, what's she saying? And she had like a fake stove set.
I'll bring it over
And
in the kitchen.
she'd say sizzle, sizzle. And I'm like, what are you saying that for? She's like, oh, I'm cooking. And I thought about it. I was like, she's cooking. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so you can see how it fully cooked on this side. And now I'm just going to wait for a little bit. Now, here's the thing. Some people won't pull it out the pan because they're like, oh, it's still not cooked. It's going to cook. In fact, a little bit of like blood may come to the surface of the burger. But once it's cooked like this on the other side, these patties are done. Like they're ready to be eaten. And it's medium well. Yeah, it's medium well in which we're going to eat these burgers. So I'm going to put a little bit more Redmond salt on the top. And, you know, normally I would do bacon, but y'all know how I feel about getting popped with this oil. I don't like it.
Ooh.
So that is something I do in the oven. Yeah, I just put a little sprinkle on the top like that. And now that we've got the salt on, we're just waiting for this other side to cook, and it's going to be ready. It's going to be ready.
We should do that bacon and egg thing that you said.
Oh, yeah. We can do that. You guys want to do another recipe show? My daughter just reminded me of something I wanted to try. If you like bacon, yeah. I am a baconista. I love bacon. I love it. And I used to have, when I was a kid, I used to have I want to say like a texture issue with pork. Like I didn't like the softness. It just wasn't for me. But now that I've become carnivore, I love pork. Like pork is great. Pork is bacon.
Oh.
That's what pork is. Pork is bacon.
But I'm talking about
the ribs I gave you the other day. The ribs. That was beef ribs, but the week before that was pork ribs. So, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, these should be done in a little bit. I still see on this side it's a little red, still a little bloody. So we're just gonna let that cook off just a little bit more, and then it should be good. Let's see. She said baconista. Yes. Actually, I thought about making a t-shirt that says that. I think I am going to do that.
And there's the bacon.
Yes. Yes. It's going to be a very simple shirt. Yeah. I'll you know what? I'll do something.
It shows an egg as a heart.
I actually like that idea. Write those ideas down. Lissa always helps me. She's been my power walker partner for the past few weeks, and I don't know how I'm gonna do without you next week. She's going to church camp, y'all. So
Dad's taking my place.
You said Dad's taking your place. He's not gonna wake up early to do that. All right. Evan says hi, Alyssa.
Hi.
She says hi. Joanna says, I can't go wrong with bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon. Bacon is like amazing. And this is the thing with bacon, it can actually change like the texture of certain things. So we found a recipe we wanted to try for breakfast, because breakfast has just basically been eggs, bacon and eggs, or sometimes we'll have eggs over easy. Sometimes I have boiled eggs, or most of the time now I'm fasting still through breakfast, even after working out. And I don't eat until like a later lunch, which is about 2:00. All right. So this is kind of when I start looking at the burgers. I want to show you something. You see how it's kind of still like a little bit bloody? It's fine. Like, it's not bad. I'm telling you. So this is good. It's now I'll flip it over for y'all so y'all can see. It's gonna have like that little bit of rendered fat on it. I like that part. And I think of it in this manner. I am eating these burgers right now. All right, so we've got our burgers. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the eye. Lissa, you want cheese on it?
Yeah.
All right, so Lissa wants cheese. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put cheese on the top. And remember what I said, I use it sparingly as a topping. So I just kind of rip it in half. And then I'm just going to put it on the burgers like that. And it's going to start to melt. In the meantime, I've got a plate here, and we are going to take the other burgers out that do not have cheese. And like I mentioned before, I like to use them as a quick lunch sometimes. If it's cold, it still tastes good to me. If I've got some left over for breakfast, sometimes what I'll do with the burgers is I'll crumble it in with my scrambled eggs, and oh my gosh, it is heavenly, y'all. I just need to do a breakfast one with y'all so you could see like how I do it. Maybe that's the time I'll bring y'all into the kitchen, but it's going to look strange. It's going to look a little different as far as the production. All right, so we've got a regular beef here, and I've got my Wagyu. I'm just going to put this on the same plate so we can just do a little bit of a comparison. All right, so this is the Wagyu on the top. That's the Wagyu. That's the regular burger. The only difference that I'm seeing I see a difference in the color. So this one has more of a red, pinkish kind of look. This one has more of a brownish tint. I also noticed that they're thicker. Like the Wagyu is thicker. I made the patties a lot thicker, but I'm wondering if it's going to taste the same. So we're going to do the taste test in a minute, and then I will tell you if it's up to par. Do we stick with our $5.80 burgers, or are we gonna every once in a while get some Wagyu burgers? All right, the burgers here are doing great. We're going to actually, so good. We're gonna go ahead and turn the eye off, and I'm going to take this out the pan. And what we're going to do here, I got to make sure I'm careful, y'all. I told you I don't like the This, I gotta get a new spatula. All right. All right, so we've got our Wagyu and we've got our regular beef burgers. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give it a try. I'm going to pour that out as we want to make sure I unplugged my pan from there. Whoo, you hear the sizzle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a try. Now, before I do the taste test and I move this, Lissa, I'm going to need your help. Come on over here. You're going to just put that on the table. Take those two bowls, this one and this one from the bottom. I'm going to move this hot plate over, but I have to be careful because it's still hot. All right. All right, now Lissa, come here. You're going to take this end. All right, it's hot. So put it on the stove, okay? All right, so now my daughter has moved all of those things for me. And I'm moving the eye. The plate is still hot and it's close to me, but I have to be careful. All right, so if you see here, all right, so we talked about regular beef burger right here, and then this is the Wagyu burger right here. So I'm just gonna take a small piece out of the Wagyu. Wow, when I cut through it, it was so tender. Like the burger is almost still falling apart. So that's what it looks like right now. Oh my gosh. It tastes good. So the tenderness of it is just off the chain. It's not like how you have a traditional burger and it kind of stays the same. All right, so now we have a regular beef burger, which I'm gonna zoom in. It's a regular beef burger. We put a little bit of cheese on it. This one is a lot more firmer. Okay. Okay. Based on tasting both burgers, I will tell you, Wagyu is definitely the way to go. One, if you want a slightly different taste. And two, if you want a softer textured burger. If you go with the beef burger is going to be a little bit more firm, even if you have it well done, medium rare. Well, I should say medium. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. When it's bang in the middle. So that's what I'm getting. But the Wagyu has a different taste, guys. It's not the same as a regular beef burger. In fact, it's still slightly falling apart, even though, like, I made the patty. You see me do the patties right in front of you. Let's see. Margaret says, now I'm really hungry. It is delicious. All right. Listen.
Yeah.
Bring your plate.
Okay.
All right. So Wagyu is great. I think I put a little too much salt, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. Margaret, I'll save you some. Arby's sells Wagyu burgers. Well, that's where I first heard about it. And the thing is, if you this is a Wagyu burger. All right, sorry. So part of this also what I've noticed is with the Wagyu is so tender. It tastes so good. All right. Why is that happening? All right. I had to remove something from the screen. All right. Arby's sells Wagyu burgers. Yes, they do. Now, sometimes if you go into certain establishments, you can ask them, how much would your patties cost? So for me, my favorite, if I'm on the go, I love going to Wendy's because Wendy's patties are 100% beef. It's not made with any kind of craziness. It's just straight up fried on a grill, and they won't even season it. They'll like leave it as is. That's why I like it like this. But you guys know I love making burgers too. I would like to go there and see how they prepare their burgers. I would have to ask, but yeah, they do make Wagyu burgers. I never had it from there. Have you ever tried it? All right. What's the next thing? Let's see. Margaret wants one. I'll have to save one for you. You want mustard on yours? Do you like mustard on your burger? Let me know. Okay. So, looks to me like, even though I like Wagyu, and Wagyu is good, I still like my traditional beef burgers.
Yeah, I like it.
Because I like the firmness. I think I'm used to that. I think if I were to eat it, I'd be like, oh, it's okay. But I don't think I would get this kind of burger, like Wagyu, not a Kobe one. That one was a lot different than the other Wagyu. The Kobe one tasted delicious. But I think on this one, it said, if I'm not mistaken, let's see if I have it. It said it's made with Wagyu ground beef, ranch raised, gluten-free. So this, okay, I got the stats. This one is 80% lean and 20% fat, which was the same amount of fat that was in the regular beef burgers. But what's interesting is it didn't really have as much fat rendered in the pan. So maybe the majority of that stayed in the burger. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, Evans is saying that the Arby's Wagyu burgers are good. So maybe if I am going there, I'll just ask them to give me the patty. That's what I do. Especially when I was on the road traveling, that is how I ate. When I got on the cruise, that was all I ate. Mustard is good for burgers. I love mustard. I'm a fan of mustard. I'm also a fan of barbecue sauce, so that's why I was like, I'm not gonna have mustard. But yeah, this is just one of the things that I've learned the difference. I didn't realize it until having it together, I will say, until now. Let's see. Margaret said no salt. We eat salt. Yeah, I have this one. I'll show you. I use this. I have Redmond's red salt. So for this, I use this when I am not only seasoning my food, but say like I'm starting to feel fatigued during the day, or I'm starting to have like a little bit of a migraine or headache. I take a pinch of this salt, I put it under my tongue, and I just wait like a few seconds, sometimes a few minutes, and it goes away. That's the interesting thing about carnivore. It's not less salt. It's as much salt really as you want, and you're fine. Of course, moderation, so it keeps you hydrated. And I just drink regular water. I use this and regular water. Now, in the beginning, when I did it, I did Element because I realized the headaches were just too bad.
I had to text a friend.
Yeah, Lissa actually had to text a friend and ask them what their mom was doing for the carnivore diet. And she was like, you need electrolytes. And so that's when I got Element, and Element helped me out. And Element tastes great. Like, it tastes good. But I needed to still get away from the sugar because I knew that the sugar was also like a trigger for me. So I know that I have like some addictive personality traits. And so I had to stay away from it for a little bit. But I mean, the majority of the element is it's magnesium, it's potassium, and it's salt. Yeah, and then sometimes they have like a stevia in it, depending on what you want. Yeah, which they do have one that's a mango chili, which I kind of do want to try, but I think I'll save that for my birthday. Margaret said that's awesome. Yeah, it's very simple to use. I actually got this one from Amazon. I believe it was like $9, and it's a lot of salt. It can go a long way. And I will tell you something funny that I did that you probably would laugh. I went to Wendy's, I think it was like earlier this week, and I had some patties, and I took out my salt. I had my salt in a Ziploc bag though. And there was this guy that was sitting behind Alyssa, and he was just like looking at me like, what are you doing? It was like I had a Ziploc bag of salt, and he probably thought I was crazy. I was just sprinkling it on my food and just eating my patties. But anyway, that's the way it is. Evan says, but would the Wagyu taste different if you made the patties flatter like the beef burger? I wonder. But I've had Kobe before, and Kobe kind of did the same thing. Like it still has like a softer kind of texture to it. So that's what I thought was interesting
I would
about
love
it.
to do that blindfold thing.
The blindfold, I think I would still be able to figure out which one is my regular beef burger and which one is the Wagyu. Yeah. Margaret says, do you take supplements? No. Meat has all the vitamins that I need. I take no supplements. In fact, when I started carnivore and I was trying to take supplements, I actually felt ill. But I felt ill to a lot of things, you know. But I don't take supplements. I take meat, water, and salt. That's it. That is all that I've had for 60 days, Margaret, and I'm actually okay. We had some sparkling water the other day, and that was a treat. It was just regular plain sparkling water. I think it was nothing in it. I tried one, because you got to be careful. You still got to read the ingredients for things.
Because sometimes they still put.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes people will put like natural flavors, and I don't know what that means. I mean, natural flavors could be a lot of different things. It could be like seasonings or herbs that are used, but it may not be something they want to disclose, because that could be like disclosing their recipe to the public. You understand?
There's also
another natural. There's some, yeah, they have one that says natural, but I don't know. But no, you do not need a supplements for meat unless your doctor is telling you to take it, but not for carnivore. Hey, it's Robin. Robin, I meant to reach out to you. What's going on? We've got Robin Huron here, Carnivore's grandma. I was looking at you the other day, and I was like, oh, I was loving your content. You had a few ladies on your panel, and you guys were talking about the carnivore diet. Hope you're doing well. Having a wonderful, blessed Friday. Yes. You said B. Beasley sent me. Oh, tell B. I said, thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you and appreciate your support. Yeah. So I went ahead, Robin, and I was just doing a little comparison on Wagyu beef versus my traditional ground beef that I found for $5.80 for 10 patties, right? And then I got this Wagyu beef that was like $10. And I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like my ground beef regular. If you like a little bit of a tender type of meat, that's cool too. But I really enjoyed my regular ground beef. I think I'll just probably stick to that. Let's see. Robin says, I agree. Wagyu is soft. It is. It's very tender. I think that if I were to make it as a ground beef bowl, that would probably be delicious. But I really like the firmness of a regular ground beef patty. It's just, I think it's a texture thing. I just really like that, being able to cut into it. So yeah. That is how we make our beef patties. And now the census is in. You guys tell me what you think. Would you go for Wagyu or would you go for ground beef? Let me know in the comments. I am trying to stay hydrated. It's so hot outside, guys. I was outside for like a minute and it was crazy. Let's see, it's like 91 degrees and here it's 7 o'clock. Like, it's still hot. I'm like, I thought I could wait until the evening to go for another walk, but I like to wait till it's cool. So I like to do my walks when it's cool in the morning. I get in that exercise and it just feels great. But we're going to do another live stream probably next weekend. And I will do the breakfast. What? Let's see. Oh, no, you're not going to be here. No, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure something out. Make sure my daughter is here next time so that way we can, because she's been my helper during this live stream while I was cooking. So y'all say thank you to Alyssa. She was sweet enough to help me with removing some things from my desk. So thank you for that. But yeah, regular. Join us as regular. I don't know. I like the firmness of a regular burger. I may even get the grill started so I can have a grilled burger. I may want to do something a little different though. I don't have like a green egg or anything, but I'm thinking about what if I were to put those ribs that I just bought and try to do like a slow cook on the grill with it, like how that would be. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about. Maybe that's something I could do this weekend. Also have a slab of salmon, so I gotta use that soon. Let's see. Focal says, I definitely want to try the Wagyu. If you like soft textured meat, you're gonna love this one. It does have a good taste. I will tell you that it's different from traditional beef. You're definitely gonna know the difference in taste. And Evans says, thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Evans. Appreciate you. Let's see. I think Wagyu might be an acquired taste and texture. It is. I believe that you are correct. I think that it is an acquired taste. But the one that I had, Focal, I got to tell you, it was Kobe beef. And when my husband made it, he made thinner patties, and they were so... they were delicious. Even though it was soft, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is great. So I may ask him to make it again, but I want that other brand. Yeah, I don't want this one was okay. This one was okay, but I think I would prefer my regular patties over this one for the Wagyu. But the Kobe one was spot on. But that also has an acquired taste too, like Robin mentioned. Okay. Focal says, my hubby makes good burger patties so he can do the prep. Oh, that's so good. Isn't it nice when you have somebody by your side and they're able to do that? That's just such a treat. I love that. I have my husband, he'll make bacon for me. I'm like, I don't want to get popped by the bacon anymore. And then someone from our community, God bless them, told me, bake the bacon. And at first I was like, bacon. I was like, but isn't that gonna cause a problem? You said bacon. No, listen, no. Someone said bake the bacon, and I was just so hesitant because I was afraid, and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and now that is how I always make bacon. Robin says, I love the fattiness of the Wagyu, but on the regular, I would go for my farm-raised Black Angus. Yeah, I would too. That sounds absolutely delicious. The Black Angus. I love Black Angus burgers. I mean, they are just, it's so beefy. And I love the fat content in it. You can still taste the difference too. You can taste the difference. I did buy some Kobe patties, but I'm still like, it's not like that other one that I bought. So I'm hoping that one tastes good, but yeah. Let's see. And Robin says, thank you, Alyssa. So maybe the breakfast one, I'll wait till you come back from camp and I'll do that one. But maybe I'll do like a steak or something. I'll do a different, like a breakfast bowl kind of thing with the audience. So we'll do a breakfast bowl kind of thing for you guys. But the other breakfast item, I'm going to wait for Alyssa. All right. I tried the Kobe once when Aldi's had it on a special purchase. It was so good, but it's pretty pricey. I know, you are so right. Again, that pack that you've seen that I had, the Wagyu, was the same size. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I want to show you guys the one that I had that was absolutely delicious. And I was just, I don't know if they have it. Let's see. This was Instacart is where I seen that they had it on sale for 12% off. But I'm like, that is just so expensive still. But anyway, it is pretty pricey. And it only gives you 4 patties in this one pack. Oh no, this is gonna take too much time. They got a whole lot of stuff popping up here. I'll just wait later and show you guys a picture in the community tab, which I think I might have it. But yeah, they are delicious. Fogel, I love that one. I always did. And hot dogs. Oh, you know, I used to love. When I was a kid, especially when I did Atkins, I did this. I used to take hot dogs, split them in half, and put them in the broiler. So that way the edges and the hot dog itself would be a little charred on the outside. And then I eat it with mustard. That was my dinner. If I'd known about carnivore back then, I would have just went carnivore, and I probably still would have been carnivore. Let's see. Focal stuff says that's a treat food. You best believe that is a treat food. You're so right. I wanted a treat today, and I was like, well, this is my treat for the month. But yeah, I didn't find it. But that's okay. I had the other Wagyu, but now I know I really like my regular beef burgers, which is not bad because my beef burgers cost $5.80 for 10 patties. Like I said, that was a good deal. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming onto my live stream today and just having fun with me. I will, if you like, I'm going to have a survey in the community tab. And if you could just answer that survey, that will really help me with being able to see if you guys like these live streams. I can come on a little bit more frequently. I like live streaming. Yeah, that's my jam. I like doing it. And yeah, feel free to comment, of course, like and share this one as well. Let's see. Fogel says, I've been doing my hot dogs in the air fryer on foil. They get crispy and no cleanup. How did I not think about that? How did I not think about that? That sounds so good. I've got to try that. That's actually a great idea. Yeah, that's like baking in oven does. Yes. Evan says, thank you, Melody. It was fun. I'm glad you had a good time. I told you I was going to come on today, Evans. I know sometimes I do this spur of the moment, but I was like, I got the time. I want to do it. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes, everybody have a great weekend. I'll be creating new videos for tomorrow and for Sunday. Well, I'm going to be doing some bulk recording tomorrow, and then I will have everything uploaded at least by Sunday. Okay, so you get one video this weekend, and then I'll have another video that I'll release next week. I can't remember when. It takes me a little bit of time. I'm trying to find a rhythm, but I'm being consistent for you guys. Let's see, Joanna. And now you know and had fun finding out. Yeah, now I know. I don't think I'm going to do that Wagyu one, though. I don't think I'm going to do that Wagyu one. I got Lissa making t-shirt designs for us already. I'm going to do our Baconista t-shirts, okay? So you'll see some merch up soon, I promise you. You are so welcome, Fogel. Thank you so much for coming to our live stream. I had so much fun with y'all. And thank you again for coming. And Robin, if you're still there, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. All right. I will see you on the next live stream. And of course, make sure you're checking out the community tab for future events. Take care, my friends, and make sure you're signing up also. If you have not done so, I have a newsletter in the description. You can go right to that link. That's going to help you to be able to go to our inside community, okay? If you're not part of it, you want to be part of it, because I'll be able to send you guys some emails. I was trying to send links through Instagram today. I almost got blocked by Instagram, so we can't do that no more. All right, let's see. Margaret says, great job, Alyssa. Thank you, Margaret. Robin says, I'm glad I caught you live. Thank you, Robin. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. And you guys have a wonderful evening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next live stream.